Today is Wednesday, the 15th of January 2025. I mean, we're already at the middle of the month. So we are looking at our morning analysis and we're looking at the fundamentals first before we go to the technical. 8 a.m. this morning, there's going to be CPI from the United Kingdom. The forecast is 2.6%. We'll be waiting for the actual. And if the actual is greater than forecast, we'll be buying the pound. And if the actual is less than the forecast, we'll be selling the pound. So that's the only fundamental event for this morning. Afternoon, we have the CPI from the United States. So let me just go straight to technicals because we'll still have analysis for the CPI in the afternoon when the time is ripe. So let's not waste our time on that. So I'll go over to the technicals now to look at what to expect both for the pound and other instruments technically for today. So I'll flip over now to my MetaTrader platform and we'll look at the pound pairs. Now, generally, I hold a bullish outlook on the pound pairs ahead of this CPI from the United Kingdom this morning. I'm bullish on the GBP USD. Generally, the dollar index rather has been bearish from Monday. I mentioned that in my analysis at the beginning of the week. Now, this is my GBP USD on the weekly time frame. We have a support level there on the weekly, and the current candle is, even forming a rejection candle on that support level. Yes, it's rejection on the weekly time frame. The week is yet to end, no doubt, but anything can still happen. But at least that's what I'm seeing at the moment. And if we go down to the daily, you see that the rejection actually started on Monday. Monday rejection candle, Tuesday rejection candle, and we have today's candle. So if the news comes out good for the pound, we'll be looking at buying the GBP USD. We expect a bullish movement on the GBP USD. This is 4 hour. This is 1 hour, and we might look at taking a buy trade once price breaks out above this minor resistance zone. So you may just put a pending order above that region to look for a bullish breakout. At least price is expected to push towards this region. Though I will even want to be careful of the GBP USD because there are other pairs since we still have the news from uh, the CPI for the United States later in the afternoon. But generally, this is what may likely happen. May have a push up to like 60 pips up there, all things being equal. But my focus will be other the pairs that are GBP based because I'm trying to be careful not to go ahead, before the CPI from the US is released. For GBP card, yeah, I can put my attention on GBP card for this morning session. For GBP card, you can see this is the daily time frame. If I started from the weekly time frame, there has been a price hitting a support level, or rather a support zone on the weekly time frame. So you can see there, price hitting the support zone 3 times. One, two, and here we have the third time. And on the daily, yesterday candle closed more like a kind of rejection. This is 4 hour, this is 1 hour. So for the 1 hour time frame, yeah, we can actually look for a break above this region. So if the news comes out good for the pound, you may even look for early entry if you can flip down to like 15 minutes, to this minor resistance. Either way that is comfortable for you, either 15 minutes or 1 hour, both of them are valid. So if you're looking at the 15 minutes time frame, then you can look for a breakout above this minor resistance on 15 minutes and you target the big one up there. That's even about 40 pips, which is even good enough. You understand? But price actually is expected to go much more than that, if not after the news, maybe later today, tomorrow, Friday, it will still continue going higher. So it depends on your choice. If you want to just scalp the news or you want to stay, a bit longer. If you want to stay a bit longer, you'll be looking at a 1 hour breakout, from where you can still expect price to go further. But at least on the average, if you're looking at scalping, you can get maybe some 30 pips out of this news once it's released. If the actual comes out, greater than the forecast as I have analyzed. So we're bullish on the GBP card for the CPI from the United Kingdom by 8 o'clock this morning. That's just roughly some 40 minutes away from now. We're bullish on the GBP JPY. I remember analyzing GBP JPY for us, I think yesterday. I still hold my bullish outlook on the GBP JPY. Now for GBP JPY, this is GBP JPY on the daily time frame. Here you can see that price is, trading on an ascending, on an uptrend. Let's put it that way. We've seen a series of higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. The next wave should be a higher high. So that's a bullish wave. And coincidentally, Monday closed as a rejection candle. So that gives us that view of a bullish breakout on the GBP JPY. If you flip down to 4 hour, 1 hour, now it's really had a kind of retracement. It's forming a kind of a reversal pattern, which will see it pull back up. Though I will give a word of caution here, please treat GBP/JPY with a lot of caution. It can be very volatile. But if news comes out to favor the pound, then we will see a bullish breakout on the GBP JPY. Now, this is better traded on 1 hour, so I'll be looking at the breakout above this resistance level over there. And price possibly at least should go as high as this support turned resistance level on the minimum. That's not the least. It could go much higher than that over time. But if you just want to scalp the news, price can at least give you some close to some 80 pips thereabouts, I believe. We should have that kind of move on this instrument when the news breaks out. So I'm bullish on the GBP JPY. And the third one I'll show us is the GBP New Zealand. So you can see that we're expecting strength across board on the pound. Now GBP JPY and GBP New Zealand, both of them should be traded with a lot of caution. I will advise you take just one, don't trade both of them. But we just have to show you as many pairs as possible that will respond to this news. For GBP New Zealand, this is GBP New Zealand on the daily time frame. We have a resistance turn support right here. Not only that, we also have an uptrend line. So we have a resistance turn support, an uptrend line, price bouncing off the trend line first time, second time, third time, and we equally have this region here as a rejection, this candle rather, the candle that closed yesterday right here as a rejection candle. So there's a confluence at this particular point. The resistance turn support is the third time. There's a 1, 2, 3 rule when price is bouncing off trend line. 1, 2, 3 rule. So we have the third time price is touching the trend line, which we expect a bullish breakout, a resistance on support, and a rejection candle. Technically, I'm very bullish. I'm really, really bullish on the GBP New Zealand. So if you flip down to the 4 hour, 1 hour, on the 1 hour, just above this minor resistance zone, we expect price to break that level, and it should trigger some bullish movement, at least to that region up there. And that could give as much as close to some 80 pips likewise. So I'm bullish on all these pound pairs. Don't do more than maximum of 2 of them, and also trade with caution in line with your account balance. So I'm bullish on GBP JPY, GBP CAD, GBP New Zealand. I'm actually tentatively bullish on GBP USD, but like I said, I don't want to go much into that direction because we're still looking at, because of the dollar that it contains, we're still looking at CPI later in the afternoon. But you can trade any of these 3 I just mentioned. All right, so that's my outlook for the news from the United Kingdom, the CPI from the UK by 8 a.m. this morning. That's roughly some 40 minutes. It's just 7:22 a.m. But aside all these, there are also some other technical setup which I'll show us, which will likely trigger today, all things being equal. But the thing is, they are more of, I think, more swing. So you can do it on 1 hour also, but that means it will trigger a bit later in the day, except there's volatility earlier. One of them is the New Zealand JPY, which you are seeing on the screen. Now, for the New Zealand JPY, on the daily time frame, you can see we have a valid support zone right here. You can see the shadows here, then these two candles, all of them on the same level. So that gave us a support zone over there. Then there is a rejection candle here, which led to a bullish movement earlier on. If you flip back to the 4 hour, you can clearly see that this is forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern. So price is expected to break out upwards into the bullish direction. It's still going to be the same thing on 1 hour. So either I want to take it as, as a swing or intraday, any of it works. Is an inverse head and shoulder. It's still in formation though, but that's what I believe this is. So we might see a breakout in the bullish direction. Now, if price breaks out above the neckline, we apply the rule of inverse head and shoulder. We'll look for entry above the neckline. Then we might target the next resistance level, as a take profit level, and that should be some 90 something, about 90 pips away, about 90 pips away. So I will drop a signal for this one, and I think also Euro JPY. But please, because it's 1 hour swing, trade it with a lot of cautions. The stop loss can be as wide as maybe some 30 pips. So please don't take any unnecessary risk. Use a minimal lot size to trade it, depending on your account. And the same thing is also happening on the Euro JPY. Just a second, I'm trying to scan my chart. Okay, found it. All right. So this is Euro JPY. Okay, all right, I think we might just stick with the New Zealand JPY. The Euro JPY is not, I'm not really finding a support. I thought I saw a support earlier, though it's really trying to form an inverse, but inverse head and shoulder, I mean, but without a corresponding support, I will not go ahead. Okay, fine. I found it. Yeah, I have a support on 4 hour. So that's the support on 4 hour, and we are having it inverse head and shoulder, then a breakout. Please, Faith, can you just put off a video? It might drag the internet. Faith Otoyo, kindly put off your video. And someone's audio is it feels Faith. Please just put off your audio as you're joining this class so that it doesn't distract us. All right, so like I said, we'll be expecting a bullish breakout also above the neckline region here. So we should see a pullback and a breakout. Sorry, that's not how to draw it. It's a pullback up there. So this is a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and a breakout. And price is expected to target this region also. And that could give as much as This should give as much as about 125 pips. All right, I'll drop the New Zealand JPY right now. If you are yet to be in the PU Prime funded client group, you're missing a lot. You're missing a lot and a lot. So make sure you have a funded account. Reach out to your account manager so that you can get added to this group. So we're going to do a buy stop order on New Zealand JPY. New Zealand JPY buy stop at 88.758. Take profit at 89.658, and the stop loss price may not get to that take profit today, so that's why I said it may look more like swing. So, but if it gets to any profit level you feel you're comfortable with, you can close it. That's if you are not a swing trader. If you're a day trader, if he's giving you some 30, 40 pips, that's good enough for day trading. You close it. But for those who are swing trader, can hold on. Yeah, you may hold on further. All right, so if the take profit is going to give up to 90 pips, our stop loss will be around 30 pips. So we have a ratio 1 to 3, as in risk of 1, reward of 3 times 3 of it. All right. So stop loss will be 88.473. So I'm dropping it right now in the comment section. You can pick it from there. And for those in the founder group, I'll drop it also for you in your group straight away. All right, so I've dropped the signal for New Zealand JPY. Okay, I think that's all I have for us this morning. I've mentioned, for those that are just joining us, there's CPI from the United Kingdom by 8 a.m. That's 29 minutes from now. We're bullish on the pound. We're bullish on the GBP JPY, GBP CAD, and GBP New Zealand. Like I said, don't trade all three. You can take one or two. That would just be good enough. And on the technicals, I just dropped a signal for New Zealand JPY. So you can just copy it. It's right in the comment section here. You can just copy it and paste on your account. All right, that'll be all. So I'll attend to a few questions and we should close the morning session. How much is the minimum account registration? Like I always tell people, trading is not really about minimum. The question rather should be how much do you really want to make? Because it's what you want to make that will determine the kind of funding you do. Now, if you want to make big money, then you fund big. It's not really about funding $20 to make $200. No. So just fund something reasonable, a 300, 500, 1,000, $5,000 as your account may cope with. But in reality, the minimum deposit on our platform is $50. But to be honest, with $50, you can't really make so much. I'll tell you that I'm a trainer, you understand? So it's better you put in something reasonable. But if all you have is that minimum, you can get started with the hope that you will top up later on. Always have a reasonable fund in your account when it comes to trading forex. It's a lot better for you. You will not be under undue pressure to make big profits, which can, put your account at risk. So that's it for Odaji Francis. All right. So I'm attending to the questions. Any signal for GBP? We are not doing live trading for GBP, so I've given you the direction. If the news comes out in that direction, just buy. We are bullish. We are generally bullish on the pound. So when the news comes out, if it comes out actual greater than forecast, you can trigger a buy in the direction of those specific instruments I've mentioned. Mr. Sonny, no, I didn't talk about you as a card because it's a dollar pair. We leave all the analysis for the afternoon. But technically, I expect the USD card to sell technically. But since you asked, let me just quickly show us. All right, so this is the USD card on the daily time frame. I hope you can see my MT4. Mr. Son, if you can see my MT4, please type a yes so that I'm sure we're on the same page. All right, so we can see that price, has been trading around this resistance level in the last couple of days. It didn't break above it. Technically, we're bearish on the dollar. The dollar index is bearish. Now, we should not forget the fact that it's actually a closed support zone there. I mean, we are close to a support zone, but at least price can still drop. Maybe the next 25 between 29 to 40 pips. There could be that drop before. It all depends now on the outcome of the CPI. If the CPI comes out, to favor the dollar, price may go back to this resistance level. If the news comes out to favor the CPI comes out to favor the dollar, price may go back up. Otherwise, price is expected to even break this support and start selling. So the decider of the dollar today is actually the CPI. That's just the thing. The CPI is what will decide the final direction of the dollar. But if you ask me as a person, this region below the current price level is a confluence zone where you have a support and you have a trend line meeting each other. We can't ignore that fact that there's a confluence here and this point here that corresponds with support. This region is a very powerful region. Two things can happen. Price may get there and break out upwards or break it downwards. So we have to be very cautious with USD card at the moment. The CPI will decide finally in the afternoon. Paul Obasi, USD JPY, Abiola, Gold, Aldi, BTC, and Gold. Okay, so we'll just quickly check all this as we round up. For USD JPY is bearish. Technically, I would say we are bearish, but like I said, the CPI will still be the final decider of what happens because I can see a rising wedge on 4 hour. Now the thing is, does the trend because we can't ignore the fact that this is a kind of an uptrend. If the news comes out to favor the pound, I mean to favor the dollar, price may go up, though later on it may still finally drop. So I would say that on the short term, we may be looking at buying the dollar, while on the longer term, we're looking at a bearish direction, as in bearish breakout. So that's what the CPI will decide for us later in the afternoon. So short-term buy if the news comes out to favor the dollar, but a long-term sell if the news does not favor the dollar. Then gold, that's from Abiola. And before I talk about gold, I want to look at the dollar index. This is the dollar index. and this is the daily time frame. You can see that price has been trending downwards from the beginning of the week. We've seen that, so we expect further drop at least to this trend line, all things being equal. So if you have that expectation on the dollar index, you may be looking for a bullish breakout on gold, and that is what is happening here. I remember telling us on Monday that I'm expecting price to break out in the bullish direction, at least to this resistance zone here. So this is gold on the daily time frame. Let's look at 4 hour. Okay, so we'll expect gold to break out above this current high if we're looking for a buy. If price can break out above this resistance, then we can target the bigger resistance up there. That's on one side. On the other side, I think I saw, okay, yeah, there was a resistance turn support earlier, but that was yesterday. That's what led to this current reversal we're seeing. So price generally on gold might go bullish, but I will want to wait till the afternoon, so that we know we're doing what is right. It may continue going higher. I can't give you clarity on gold for now. The signal I've dropped is what I can draw for now. I'm not too sure of the gold, so I don't want to gamble. But all I know is that if the dollar is bearish, it will likely go bullish. And that will be much more clearer when the CPI is released by 2:30 p.m. this afternoon. Smile is asking me to check Euro USD. Galaxy A12, invalid code. What code, please? Let's know the code you're talking about. Okay, you mean the signal I gave? Please check it very well. Because okay, it's a pending order. Please take notes. It's a pending order. It's not instant execution. It's a setup we're looking at, an inverse head and shoulder. It's not completely formed yet. So it's a pending order. Emmanuel Okoronko, what strategy you use? Price action. I use price action. Okay, I think I've attended to virtually everyone except Smile Archibong Euro USD. Okay, then all these asking for BTC. All right. Euro USD and BTC. For Euro USD, in reality, I can't find a support zone to rest on. But if I'm to go by what I'm seeing on the dollar index, which is bearish, we could also be looking for a bullish movement on the Euro USD with this falling wedge pattern. But if I'm to look at this, honestly, I will look at it more from a swing direction. If I'm to trade the dollar at all, I think I will look more at the USD CHF because that one is giving a much more clearer setup than most of the other dollar pairs. Yeah, it's giving a much more clearer setup. I've analyzed this at the beginning of the week. We had a resistance on the weekly time frame, and we can see there price yesterday was a rejection candle. Sorry, 2 days ago, Monday, rejection candle. Yesterday was bearish. Today is facing downwards. So if the news comes out for CPI, bad for the dollar, we have a rising wedge. This guy will just swing downwards. There's a much more high probability on the USD CHF, much more than any other dollar-based instrument. There's more clarity around it. For Euro USD, it may buy, but then I'm not seeing support, but I can just work on the assumption that, okay, since the dollar index is, giving us a good setup, Euro USD is expected to buy. So if we want to work on that analogy of Euro USD buying because of the dollar index, then I'll look at price breaking out above this resistance zone. So if price makes a break above this resistance zone, I can trigger a buy on the Euro USD. So I hope that's clear. But then, to be honest, all these dollar pairs, be careful of them till afternoon. Don't, if you can wait and not enter a trade, better. Because when CPI comes out, CPI will still be the final decider. So that if you not enter a trade now and CPI comes out, the other way around, and you may have issues. Further to you, so what's the probability that if you look at it, the swing points, it will pick up to yield a good result? I'm sorry, that question is not so clear to me. Maybe you can rephrase it. But if I get you well, if you're looking at swing, if you're looking at the bigger time frame, it actually gives more clarity compared to smaller time frame. I don't know if that responds to your question. And which pair are you talking about? Is it the New Zealand JPY I gave? So just be specific, Faith. All right, I think I'm done. I've attended to all the questions. Don't forget, we're having CPI live trading this afternoon by 2:30. The news will be released 2:30. The link will be dropped by 2 p.m. Then we'll enter the trading room by 2:15. Please take note. We'll enter the trading room by 2:15, and the signal will be dropped in the course of that between 2:15 and 2:25 thereabouts, and the news will be released by 2:30 on Forex Factory. Make sure you don't miss it. If you need to fund your account now to be a part of that session, please go ahead and do that immediately without any delay. And like I announced yesterday, if all this is still looking new to you, looking strange, you can't catch up, it's not a problem. We understand that this can require some time for you to really catch up, but you want to start making money immediately. We have a copy trading solution for you, can give you a very good return, 10%, 20% in a month. If you're interested, private chat me on that so that we can get you connected immediately. You can reach out to me on the WhatsApp number with which I dropped the link for this class. So finally, we'll look at BTC. Sorry, I forgot that. That's a smile. Though we have less than a minute to go. Um, well, there's no clear setup on the BTC at the moment. So I would advise to tread with caution around BTC. Don't forget it's very volatile, and with other events coming up today, please trade it with a lot of caution. But currently, there's no clear setup at the moment. All right, that'll be all this morning. Please trade safe. See you later today by 2:15 p.m. Bye bye.